The Zulus, we see them in the films, we read about them in the books, but we don't often get to hear their perspective on the Anglo-Zulu War of 1879. Well, on today's episode of Redcoat History, I'm joined by Lindizwe Ngobese, whose ancestors fought in the war. Lindizwe is now a tour guide and is here at the Clash of Empires exhibition currently happening at the Royal Philatelic Society. We're stood here, you're carrying what looks like, is it an assegai?
An assegai,
Could you tell us a little bit about what this is?
Well, this is one of the weapons the Zulu warriors were using during these hard times. This one, I think it looks very, very authentic. These are the powerful weapons Zulu warriors were using against those Martin Henry rifles, very, very dangerous weapons. But because of their bravery and their determination, they stood against the British Army. They defeated them at Zulus.
So how does it feel for you as a Zulu when you hold weapons that would have been used by your people against the British? Do you feel a sense of connection?
Yes, I do. It touches me because I believe that, they use these weapons defending that kingdom. Oh, here I've got another one. They are different. The long one is called Iko. So this one is, we've got Isijula here. But also, funny enough, the noise, whenever they stab this and pulling out, it makes that terrible noise of and as a result, the name will be given to the assegai as Iqwa, from, pulling. That's what happened on the battlefields of Isandlwana. The British had no idea when they heard this noise, and together with shouting, Ngadla, meaning I have eaten, pulling the thing out, somebody will be on the ground. Those weapons are the ones they used.
Lindizwe's family connection to the war is strong. His ancestor Sihayo and Sihayo's son Melokozulu were instrumental in the Zulu victory at Isandlwana.
He is part and parcel of what we call the Zulu Left-Hand Horn. And Melokozulu is the junior commander of the regiment called Ingoba Makhosi. They are fighting on the left-hand side. He fights there, he survives.
And, so they were coming up against Durnford's guys in
yes,
the Donga there.
Yes, and he's coming from Ulundi, having joined the army to Lundi. Therefore, he fights Isandlwana, he survives, did not go to Rorke.
When you look back now, obviously you've got a strong family connection to the war. Yeah. How does that make you feel? Are you proud that your family played such a big part in such an important battle that's still remembered across the world?
Very, very proud, because fighting at Isandlwana or throughout the Anglo-Zulu Wars, it meant that people stood for what they believed was right, or was their right. And also doing this, you feel like you do this on behalf of the king, defending the kingdom. Lots of pride, for those who stood against the British throughout these Zulu wars.
And how are those wars remembered now? What is the legacy of the Anglo-Zulu War? How is it remembered, both positively and negatively?
Lots of pride, because some of them, they feel like they were the brave men who managed to stand in front of such a powerful army in the world, the British Army. Lots of pride,
Is there still any lingering anger and hatred towards the British for the war and how it changed the Zulu nation forever?
No. Long gone. Remember, I used to believe that reconciliation between the two happened when His Majesty King Cetshwayo came to England to meet their queen. I think that itself now changed the whole of the belief of what was going on, because meeting the Queen, it made people now to look at him now in a different way, rather than
because he travelled to England after
yes,
he was taken prisoner, didn't he?
I like that. That was now a beautiful chapter.
Yeah.
Wrote an end to this now. That he's not this bad, as he was described. So today we're very, very, very close. Remember when you commemorate these events, January 22nd. They come in numbers, shaking hands, taking photos together. And apart from anything else, we need these people to come just to visit those battlefields. Tourism is the employer, and many people are involved there, and they buy the stuff from the Zulu people. That thing is long gone.
So, Lindizwe, obviously we've got the famous film Zulu Dawn. How realistic was the portrayal of the Zulu people in those films?
Well, a little bit of exaggeration on both films, but the main thing behind the films, both of them, they keep the story alive. Otherwise, it would have been forgotten easily. Apart from this, well, few mistakes like the old one, that one, film Zulu, was not shot on the battlefields where the battle really happened, creating some kind of, confusion. People will come and they get there and they say, it doesn't look like. Short further, to the place called Drakensberg Mountains. Well, there are some reasons, but anyway, it keeps the story alive. And here in London, or England as a whole, every 25th of December, each and every year, which is their Christmas, is now on their television screens. Only find that they keep watching this. At the end, they feel like they want to come and see these famous battlefields. So, on the other hand, it's the best marketing tool. Therefore, the young one of 1979, Zulu Dawn, takes place east of Isandlwana, behind the mountain called Isiphezu. Yes, also we've got those mistakes because totally different where it really happened, but again, keeps the story alive. Just that kind of, giving you an idea as to what happened. Yours is to come to the battlefields and learn of the events that happened on the battlefields, not relying on the films. The films, I think, I like them because they keep the story alive. But you need to come for yourself and learn what happened on the battlefields.
So obviously at the end of the film Zulu, there's that moment where Zulu warriors sing a song for their British opponents. How realistic is that?
No, I don't believe that thing ever happened. No. Having fought, throughout, the night, I can't see there's any reason why they could sing. They are bleeding, they've been disgraced, defeated. The only thing now for them is to go back home. And back home, remember, the king is very angry. And I don't think that ever happened. They were just,
because they shouldn't have been there in the first place, right? He had ordered them not to cross the river.
Yes, there were lots of mistakes, but I can't see them singing, and having lost so many warriors on the ground. No.
When King Hitswaya returned home to Zululand after being in the UK and meeting the Queen, all he found was division and more war.
Unfortunately, when he comes back home, the kingdom had been split up into 13 reserves. So the chiefs who had been occupying those territories were told that he will never come back. So when he comes back home, it meant bad news to them. Therefore, it sparks off a civil war that breaks out in July of 1883, whereby many of the survivors of the Anglo-Zulu Wars, the cream of the Zulu nation, will die, having stood against the British for such a long time.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people who read about the Zulu War don't realise, is that it actually led to more disruption and a civil war afterwards.
It's very, very bad, I must say. So that's where the Zulu king also found himself in trouble. Wherever he was hiding, he got wounded. And it was very sad because this is now Zulus versus Zulus. Prince Zipepu against King Cetshwayo, he is king. So King Cetshwayo didn't die on the spot, even after he got wounded on his thigh. The Zulu king passes away on the 8th of February, 1884. And must be somewhere in his mid-50s, not very old. Yeah. So his grave is found in a place called Nkandla.
So there you have it, guys. Another fascinating slice of history from the Anglo-Zulu War, thanks to Lindizwe. The Clash of Empires exhibition is currently happening at the Royal Philatelic Society and is going on until the end of July.